Welcome back to working on part two now of working on Back Porch, and this is the song, the fifth track of the album, 250 Years to Cheer, and it's going to be an instrumental. The reason I'm doing instrumentals for the rest of the album, probably or very possibly, instead of doing what I was going to do is 8 songs with lyrics and then 2 songs instrumental, is the July 4th celebration, the big day, is only 3 weeks away, and I want to have the album out as quickly as possible before the big celebration. So my goal is today is now Thursday. I want to finish this by Saturday, maybe. I don't know if I can finish it by tomorrow, but by Saturday midnight, I'd like to have it, up on the old, up on my distributor's website, and all that. So anyway, let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and we're going to upload the audio, and I've been getting these copyright, like little, we've detected similar music to this already. We can't, basically a copyright, not strike, but like a notice or conflict, and then you have to do something different. And what I've been doing lately is just editing out, or just here what I'll do. Okay, so it's going through now. It'll take a minute or two. So usually what I've been doing, the first time I did this, I isolated this, and I called it like BP1 would be like I'd call this. But now what I'm doing, and then if that passed, then I'd go to like here and do BP2 and then BP3. That's what I did at first. But I've noticed it's always the last bit, for whatever reason, is the problem. So what I would do, if this one doesn't pass, just forget about this one. And I have a new way of doing it. Rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., we'll take a look at this and see that's at 140. Is that 140 or 149? Hold on. Oh, 148. So we go like this? I'll get it ready because so many times it happens. I go like this. BP 148. Sounds like BPM 148 beats per minute, beats per, but no, that's Back Porch. So we have that ready in case we have a copyright thing. Here we go. No, it worked. It got the whole thing through. Okay, so overwrite current lyrics. Yes. And now for description, I'll bring you back. So I'm changing up the basic prompt that I have for all of these tracks. I'm adding the word instrumental piece here. Recorded until, okay, so he goes, rather than close mic lead vocal, we don't want that. So we start in with this. I don't think it needs to be capitalized for the AI. Mastering warm, sincere. Just leave out the vocals with featured. Take out all that. Subtle fiddle, good. And light steel guitar, wow. Patriotic and heartfelt. That's fine. Intimate verses. We don't want, there's no verses. Oh, we could, there would be verses in, I guess, a instrumental. I'll ask Google. Country songs that get on the charts that are instrumental. And play on the radio. If so, comma, what is the ratio from songs with lyrics to instrumentals in the world of country music in 2026? I'm going to guess it's going to say there are very few, if any, songs with lyrics, with that are instrumentals. This will be very interesting. Country songs rarely hit the mainstream charts. There you go. Or receive notable modern country radio play. In commercial country, vocals drive the narrative, meaning the ratio of songs estimated at 999 to 1. Country radio billboard fun lyric. I didn't think it was. Yeah, I guess it was. Instrumentals are a commercial anomaly. In instrumentals chart, they are almost exclusively standalone novelty tracks or artist-authorized karaoke instrumental album variants of hits vocal songs. Yeah, vocal song. I always say lyric songs. I think I'm going to say vocal songs from now on. Well, occasionally instrumental. Yeah. They do not chart. They just do not chart. So it's a real. I'm only doing it because I want to get this album out quick. Yeah, and the La La La. I have two thoughts. The reason I was hesitating is the La 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 is sort of like lyrics, but then they probably don't chart. But it is what it is. The other idea is to not have. Excuse me, I burped. There are two things that I'm thinking of. One would be I could release it as a 4-track EP. They call it EP. It's a short album. And I could release it as a 4-track EP. But I like the idea of a more fully fleshed out 10 tracks, which is the good average, the good number for really, for albums these days, I think. In fact, I'm going to ask Google on that. I'll bring it back. Okay, so I asked regarding country albums that chart well these days, what is the average number of tracks per album? I'm going to guess 10, but I might be wrong on country music. I think it would work well for the smooth jazz. But anyway, let's see. It's taking a long time. Wow. Long time. 15 to 22 tracks. 20 to 37 songs. 10 to 14 tracks. More total streams. Most popular chart toppers rely on massive track lists. Did not know that. Double albums, bloated track lists. Oh boy. Look at that. 37 tracks. Yeah, let's just work on it through July 4th. And wow, I did not know this. Wow, even this one's longer than, oh boy. Well, massive records dominate the top. Okay. Really standard traditional length albums aim for 10 to 13 track sweet spot. Yeah. Yeah. I don't necessarily need to. But that gives me a good piece of data I didn't know. We want more tracks. Wow. Well, yeah, if it wasn't a deadline, I would I'd do still the 10 tracks, but I would be doing every track, maybe 9 tracks with lyrics now that I've read this, and then 1 track that's instrumental. Okay, well, let's see what happens with Suno. I'll bring you back. Oh, just to finish this, modern. I could ask ChatGPT to come up with a new one for instrumentals, but I'm just going to go ahead and try this. Oh, chorus. Yeah, okay. All right. We're going to try this. I'll bring you back. Okay, thrill seekers. Well, I went ahead and did my dishes. I have this thing, this is going to be the TMI section of the video and the slight procrastination. But I've been doing I was waiting for my dishes to really pile up and like needing new ones, needing the dishes to then finally do the dishes. And then it would be so many dishes to do. And then this is hilarious. And I realized how hilarious this is. And then, by the way, it's still processing. What happens when it finishes? You see the time on them, so they're going to be long, which is good. Rather than sometimes they're only like 24 seconds or something, and then they're ridiculous. It doesn't work. So this has actually been processing quite a while. So these might be like longer than 10 minutes. But anyway, the now just when I see a few dishes in there, I just do them. And if you do them, and it's also good to do tasks like that rather than letting things build up, like laundry or whatever. I know how hilarious this is. You getting to them quicker is definitely, even though you do the dishes more often, it definitely is less stressful. All right, here we go. I like it. There's some of that AI BS, and then it starts. All right, so I do some editing there. I mean, it sounds like it's ending twice after, before even 2 minutes are up. So I need to find an edit point before that and maybe come back into somewhere. That's the problem with the AI. Once it gets back to once it does that, like it's ended and it does a weird thing and then it starts up again, the audio quality is almost sounds new age or something. I like elements of that. That could definitely work. I can make it work with editing. It really begs lyrics. I'm really, it's like it's begging lyrics. Now, I had a thought, which is if I were to do lyrics for the rest of these songs, or most of them, I could do them simpler. Like with I'll give you an example. With smooth jazz, there was one point where I was thinking for the next song, gosh, I don't want to work so hard. I know it's funny because, compared to actual musicians who really work hard, this is ridiculous. But anyway, uh, I was thinking to myself, we could just do like something really simple and repetitive over and over again. You can do that with smooth jazz, and it'd be like one rhyme and then the same basic two lines over and over again throughout the whole song. And it can work because you're just relaxing. It's music to relax by. It's not supposed to inspire you necessarily or inspire not collegiate, but like introspective thought that country music sometimes will. Good country music generally has some sort of meaningfulness to it, the lyrics. So, going la 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 or going my my toes are in the sand, and I have to say, and I love you, or I am happy to be here with you, or the whatever. The palm trees are swaying, and in the waves I'm playing, you know, palm trees are swaying and the waves I'm playing. I mean, that sounds kind of ridiculous, but and just that's the whole song. Now, my thought was with country music, sitting here, if I were to do back porch, sitting here on this back porch, like sitting here on this back porch swing, I'm so happy to be, I'm so happy to sit here and sing that you are the love of my life. As I sit here on this back porch swing. As we sit here on this back porch swing, I'm so happy to be able to sing that you are the love of my life. And that could be the whole song. And then I could say something that rhymes with porch, da 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 da, porch, cor, so, tor, I don't want the torch is the only thing I can think of, but as I hold this torch, as I'm proud to hold freedom's torch, I'm so grateful for my back porch. And that could be the whole song, and then just repeat that, and repeat it again, and then end the song. Make it a short song. I just wrote a song, basically. So why don't we do that? That'd be changing the trajectory, uh, obviously. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, back porch. And we just save it in the right folder. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. So I like to have a, yeah, I like to, with my other speech to text program, I was able to say all caps, back porch. And now, like, all caps, back porch. What it'll do is it'll say all caps, and then it'll go like, oh yeah, so yeah, they fixed it. They've, I put that in to, support for this new, this whisper flow. And I said, you should be able to say all caps. And they said, well, we'll put that in. It looks like they sort of did it, but they shouldn't have the word all caps with a colon. But now at least you can get all caps. Interesting. So let me see if I can remember what I did. As we sit here out on this back porch swing, I'm ellipsis. I am happy to be able to sing ellipsis that you are the love of my life. Ellipsis that you are the love of my life. Ellipsis. As for this country, I, ra- I raise a torch. For the continued freedom of our country, I continue to raise a torch. And Lord, I am so grateful for our back porch. I am so grateful for our back porch at the consternation of apartment renters everywhere. Right on. Of course, I'm not going to just sit here on the bus swing. Ooh, I'm happy to be able to sing. That you are the love of my life. You are. You said that you are the love of my wife, which would be like my wife's lesbian lover, which wouldn't work very well. Or it would say something else about the singer. Okay, anyway, as I sit here on this back porch swing, I'm happy to be able to sing. That you are the one, that you are the one. And I hesitate to use the word Lord because it gets religious, and I don't necessarily want to go there. It works for country music very well, though. On our ah, that you are. How about that you are my lovely wife, that you are my lovely wife? It's very, it's not very deep, heartfelt lyrics, but it's a way of it being quick. That you are my lovely wife. That you are my lovely wife. Ellipsis. New line. That you are my lovely wife. That you are my lovely wife. That's better. That's a little clever. That works better. As for the country, as we raise a torch, as we raise the torch, it's putting in the theme of the album, and it's kind of forcing it in there, isn't it? Yes. But it's, you just go with it. Here's probably something I've never said in any of these videos, that at this point anyway, my intention is not for every song to hit a home run and catapult me into stardom. It's it's an experiment, partly an experiment to see what Suno can do and how much I might be able to at least delight some people. You know, yes, I'd love to make some money with it and for it to be very popular. Every song to hit it out of the park. That'd be great. But that's not the goal in mind is not necessarily, and certainly is just not, I'm not champing at any bits to make every song great, but to make every song at least, I was to say the word tolerable, but better than tolerable. Yeah, but let's put it that way, better than tolerable. And then as continue the experiment, and also just output, outflow. It allows me to just continue to outflow. And then because Suno does such a good job coming up even with just halfway decent lyrics, can be still a very lovely presentation of art. And yes, it is art, even if it's partly developed by, the AI. So yeah, and this means because I'm doing this, I'm going to have to go back in and do a whole new singing. But maybe I can. What if I feed it with my singing that I did? I've never done this before, but adding the lyrics to see if it can take the tune I did with the la la la's and it add the lyrics as you would if you were a songwriter. You could take in a cassette in the old days of like la 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 da la la, and then you hand them lyrics as well, and say, "Here, you're a singer. I'm not. I don't want to do that in the demo. You take the music and the lyrics and marry them together, and you put it together for me because I'm paying you to do that." All right, I was gonna say I'll bring you back, but we'll just do the next. We're running out of time on this video. We'll do the next video. We'll do another video as we raise the torch for the continued freedom. As we raise the torch for this, for we raise the torch for the anniversary, 250th. That's a little cooler rather than anniversary of this country. As we raise a torch for the 250th, I think I'm going to go and drink a fifth. No, that doesn't work, and I'm also 50th. Yeah, I'm going to Krith. Hi, Krith. Torch. Consternation of a firm. For our back porch. Country, as we celebrate our country's 250th. Raise a torch for the freedoms, for freedom as we celebrate our country's 250th. For continued freedoms, I raise a torch. The torch. For its continued freedoms. Wow. Raise the torch. As we sit here, I'm so grateful for our back porch. I'll bring you back on the next video. I'll work on it a little bit and bring you back.